Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. This is the first spiritual video I am doing in the new year. Happy 2026 everybody. So I am so happy that you are here with me today. I'm just coming back onto YouTube after a little bit of a hiatus. I had a very good new year. I am here to set the stage for the month of January and provide you with insights into the spiritual energy of the time. Okay, so I was drawn to 3 tarot decks: the Gilded Tarot, the Saya Woolfolk. Doesn't have the name of the empathic universe, but this is the empathic universe theme deck. Okay. And this, finally, the Grunge Goddess Tarot, which I don't think I have done a reading with quite yet. Yes, I haven't yet. I showed this on TikTok, which my TikTok name is Nightlight 890. The spelling of Nightlight is Nitelite 890. So if you're not following me on TikTok, I do post some interesting spiritual items on there, including my crystals. So this morning, I've been having the most lifelike dreams, and for as long as I can remember. And I did the most interesting thing last night. I organized my pencils and pens, which, as you know, I'm a writer, but I've always been a writer on a very strict, limited financial strain. I mean, most writers are stereotypically struggling financially, but I really didn't even have the money for nice things. I mean, I did have some luck in Japan where I was able to procure stationeries and notebooks, which were helpful and comforting for me as a fledgling writer, but I haven't been really able to invest in the writing instruments, utensils, what have you. So I've always had sort of a desperate need for pens and pencils. Whenever there's free pencils available, I cheer, and I always take free pens when I get the chance. So I've had a few nice writing tools in the past, but yesterday I went through, and considering that I've been such a prolific writer, I do not have that many pencils or pens. I only have about 1 cup worth of pencils. So these are all the pencils to my name that I possess. There's a few pens mixed in there. And this is the cherry glass that I got in Brooklyn Heights. Really lovely, perfect for holding pencils. That's on my desk now. And this is hold on, let me put this down. This is the little flyer, which is now a historical artifact, that the Zohra Mamdani Democrat rally, not really rally, but his team came to my apartment to promote the vote. Okay, I have this flyer, so that's now historical artifact, so Zohran was voted into power. Okay, let's begin. So I organized my pens last night, and I realized I don't have actually that many pens or pencils, but I just, it's kind of a luxury to own those sorts of things. Regardless, let's begin. Let me see which deck I'm starting with. Okay. Tell me left or right. So we're gonna start with, hold on. Oh my god. I hope this is not a super long reading because it's really taking my energy. Okay, so my nose. Let's start with the Okay, yesterday was a full moon. I'm getting my messages. Sorry, it's taking a minute because I haven't really accessed my mediumship abilities in a bit, so it's kind of like starting a cold engine. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start with the empathic universe, which I wanted to say that this deck is I feel like it's kind of a wild card. Like, it can say so many different things, and it's really unpredictable. And I think I've been neglecting to read the back sides because I realized that the back side also this deck is very multi-dimensional. Okay, so we have our first card. So we have the number 4, IV, Roman numeral IV, completion. Okay. And it looks like wands, but I don't see 4 here. I see 8, no, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wands. Oh no, it's 4 wands. I thought it was like a wheel and it had all those spokes, but it's actually 4 wands laid across each other, and it looks like some birds, some skulls. Okay, completion. It's telling me that the mission accomplished. Okay. And I'm getting Zohan, like something about goals were made and goals have been met, and the mission is complete. Okay. And I'm getting justice. Okay. When this card first popped up, I saw number 6 because I don't know, my dyslexic brain. I saw VI, and see, in the reflection it's VI on my computer. So 6 is balance. So I'm hearing that like there's a newfound balance in the air. Okay, Libra, justice. Okay. I'm also getting number 7 for some reason. Completion. Okay. I have something here. I'm picking at my skin. Sorry, it's very unattractive, but I had some rough skin here. Something about skin and underlying trauma, oppression, deep-seated hatreds, things like that. okay, are over with, finished, done for, okay, done for, number 4, completion, done for. Okay, and the back, it's a very colorful, kind of jolly picture. He's got like 6 orbs and some kind of toucan or lizard. He's got like some animals, like a snowflake behind him. And it's just saying like racial justice, diversity, and harmony between the races, ethnicities, religions, okay? So that's a very good sign. And I think that's the only card we're going to take from the Empathic Universe. Lovelies, thank you. Because this deck can be a little bit hard, difficult, challenging read. So let's get to the next deck, okay? So that's a pretty good message. This deck can be a little chaotic, I find, because the themes are very high, like spiritually high magic, and like you can see the card is coming out again. It's got some, like we're dealing with some demonic energies, and like this deck is able to vanquish a lot of things. So I'm really glad that we pulled this. But like it's talking about like spiritual warfare with the bird, intellectual warfare, ideologies, heads getting cut off, talking heads, like I'm hearing Islamophobia and all that. It's like burning away, okay? It has like a star here, and it's like things are coming to the light, and the flames, I see flames, and it's like a flower or flames, okay? And it's just like, okay, flames of purification, okay? A purifying blaze, okay? So thank you, Empathic Universe. So next we have the Gilded, okay? This is a regular tarot deck. The Empathic is different, only has 40 cards in it, and it can be a little mysterious because it's a little dark and it's a little bit like the suits are not clearly delineated, but I'm pretty sure that was Wands fire. Okay, so Gilded, I just get fire from this, maybe because it's gilded and gold is the color of fire, or like the basic color of fire, which is red, orange, yellow. But I'm also getting like diamonds are, it's weird to say fire to describe gold, because actually when you're talking about jewelry and precious metal, precious substances, materials, and diamonds are described like with fire, like people talk about the fire of a gem, okay? But this is, and it has jewel tones, this deck, okay? And fire, again, the sun is burning, okay? But gold is not really described as having a fire. So it's something about diamonds. Okay, we got a card. We got the Empress in reverse. I want to flip it around. Getting a strong Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus vibes. Because there's like these mushrooms on this card, which I have shown on TikTok before, but it's in reverse now, and there's like these toadstools, I guess they're called toadstools, which I never really thought of it before, but I guess that is supposed to mean reference the fact that like toads might sit upon them. Okay, and I'm flipping it over now, but it came out in reverse. See the toadstools? I saw that, well, I kind of wasn't really focused on it, and I thought of the ladybug, and ladybug, I believe, is a symbol of the Virgin, Mary, okay? So this is showing up Venus symbol, the Empress, major arcana number 3. Okay, so there's rabbits, deer, and a bird. And the bird is like quite large compared to the deer. If you can see the bird right here, you can't really see in this light, but there is like a black and orange. It looks like some kind of bird, a small bird, and the deer is right here. It's like the bird looks quite large. So I feel like something about the feminine intellect, the female intellect, okay, which I've been thinking a lot about because I've been thinking about how women's intellect is different than male intellect. Like, I feel like in old school misogynistic patriarchal imaginations, in the old patriarchal imagination, which I don't even know if that's real or just some like Western colonial view, that women lack an intellect and they are just emotional, okay, hysterical, and well, I'm not really thinking about hysterical. I think that's like a specific moment in history, but I'm thinking about this view of women's thinking, or lack thereof, and their like lunar nature, okay? So, but I I've always, in my 20s growing up, I kind of operated under the belief that my intellect was exactly the same as a man's intellect, because I have a brain and men have brains. And I recently have realized that actually the female mind, not simply the lunar aspect, which I discussed the lunar mind, but actually female intelligence is different than male intelligence. And it does have to do with the sexual differences. I just feel like the types of intelligence that women gather is different than what men gather from a given situation. And that's why certain fields, such as interior design, for example, or it's hard to say because I feel like most fields are dominated by men, but there's like a few things that I think women are good at, and I think one of them is gardening. It just came to me. And this picture denotes there's like it's a forest, but it could be a garden. This is kind of might be controversial, but I think female photography has some, I think there's some dominance there, and as far as what I've seen is female photos, female produced photography. I just feel like, and I am loath to say this because I don't want to insult my male followers, friends, brothers, but I just feel like the female mind, I just like saying that females are better photographers is a little bit harsh or painful for me to say, because it suggests that the female mind is somehow deeper, but I'm not sure. I might be saying that because like the female perception, okay? Photography, capturing an image is also capturing the mindset of an individual, okay? And it's not simply like about photographic vision, but it's a snapshot of the photographer's mind, okay? So I have spoken about my photography studies in the past, and I'm always thinking about photography. I don't really think too much about individual photos, but I do think about the practice and its specificities, okay? So something here about, okay, the female intelligence, okay, differs from male intelligence, I've realized. Okay. I think in certain aspects, in certain ways, men are better fashion designers, but when it comes to, I feel like, fabric design, I feel like the feminine mind offers a lot, okay? So I just think that it's good, it's easy to see the differences of the male intelligence and intellect and the female intelligence, and the female mind when you think about the different crafts and sciences or whatever arts, and see where men and women differ. And I was thinking about mainly, because I am a literature major, the difference between a male and female writing. And the weird thing is, okay, it gets complicated. It's coming to me now. It's contentious because I think females, I think, are probably better, more detail-oriented writers because of the way their brain works, their minds, their intellect, the intricacies of the female mind, and the depth and the perception of meaning. But I think the fact of the social and economic reality of the writing profession has favored men, and the types of men that succeed in writing are not the same type of men, for example, who would succeed in like real political statecraft and things like that. I mean, I just feel like, or business or other masculine dominated fields. So yeah, there's something about the male writer as feminized, right? Because I feel like writing itself is probably more probably more probably more suited for females, but females have been barred from literacy, so it's an interesting fact of history. So it's the strangest thing, you know? I think that women excel in writing, and yet writing has been dominated by men in pretty much every culture and society in written history, okay? As far as I know, okay? There might have been some times and places, periods where that was not the case in ancient times, but I'm not too familiar. I think there might have been in the ancient world, but yeah, when did that? I think it probably has something to do with the modern state, okay? So we have Ace of Pentacles. So this is like a new investment, okay? And, you know, Pentacles suit is Earth. It's very much in line with the Empress. The Empress is earthly Venus, okay? So these are kind of homogeneous here. We have the animals, the rabbits, fertility. Okay, so the female mind is fertile. That's another thing. A lot of people think that the female mind is just reproductive. But actually, females, women, are creative. Okay? Um, it's not like they just spit out things that were just, it's not like they're just reciting things that have been written. Okay, they write their own things. Okay, we have Four of Cups, water, the other feminine element. Here we have someone who has drunk 3 glasses and a fourth is being offered. And getting that is like grateful to have a supply. Okay. And he has a book. This is like a page. At first I got like a male, but like the long hair I see like a female. So, and I also thought, like, is this a notebook? Is this page writing in a notebook? A student, a writer, a scribbler? I don't know. Someone, a poet. Okay. Something about like there's going to be more available for feminine consciousness, okay? And see, the sun is coming out in my video, okay? So there's going to be a flow of, okay, salvation, okay? There's going to be a spiritual enlightenment and elevation of the feminine conscious. Okay. So, a next deck, that's it for the Gilded Tarot. Okay. Yeah, these cards just popped out. The fight is over. We got 5 of Swords with this man fighting. Okay. It's kind of the battle, end of the battle. Okay, and we have 6 of Swords, which is safe passage. And we got this female figure with the moon behind her. Okay. And it's talking about intellect again. The swords are the sign of the suit of intellect. Okay. Smooth waters. Okay. Okay. Let me put the guidebook back inside. We haven't really used the guidebook quite yet on my channel, but I do have a guidebook for this one. The empathic one, the first deck I used, does not have a guidebook. It's just very intuitive, requires intuition. Okay, finally, we have the Grunge Goddess. Interesting little intro for this deck, because this deck is all about the feminine consciousness, okay? All the figures, all the illustrations of this deck are females, even the major arcanas. Every card has a picture of a woman, okay? A female, okay? A young woman, okay? And you know that I have been trying to raise the female race my whole life across the board, okay? So we have our first card, Page of Wands, exactly what I was talking about. This is women coming out of the dark with purpose, with renewed stamina, energy, force, okay, passion, fire, Page of Wands, okay. This is the suit of fire, but they're not really, this is not like war, okay. It's fire, but it's not like there's a fight. It's just passion, drive, magic, okay. Page of Wands. Next, we got Ace of Wands. So just reiterating passion, new initiative, rising from the lower energies. And Ace is a really good, okay. I'm also getting like medicine, okay, healing, spiritual, medical, okay. It looks like that symbol, but it's also looking like the female reproductive system, okay. It looks like a cervix, okay. This little wand that she has, okay, Ace. Okay, and it's like the goal of this Renaissance is to protect the wombs, okay. See how those little strings are attached? It's kind of like a little charm, okay, to protect from demonic energies, negative energies of the womb there, okay? So, you know how, like, in certain religions, they wear, like, little belts and, like, little strings to ward off, like, evil, okay? That's good. What else? Spirit, what else? Okay. Okay. We got one. The roadie. Okay, this is an interesting little personality, which in my travels I have encountered roadies before. Roadies are kind of like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to like females on a mission, on a journey. It's the one, this is a major arcana, number 7, the Chariot. Okay, but roadies, okay, I know exactly what it is. You know what, when you see it, basically the hitchhiker, the girl that's just homeless and on the road. The road is her domain, okay? They're usually in bad ways, I just feel like. But this card is saying, like, hold on. This lifestyle is being elevated. That's crazy. Okay. It's funny because I noticed there was a trend of, like, living out of my van type of thing. Or, you know, that's been a thing, like, in the 2000s. People that, like make the interior of their vehicle a home, okay? I kind of want to read the book on this because I don't know if this is just my interpretation. Because when I think of roadies, I think of girls that you meet at like gas stations that like have no money at all and they're trying to get food and basically trying to get anywhere, okay? But in this deck, it's saying the roadie, the Chariot, determination, control, victory, assertion. The roadie embodies the relentless drive of a grunge band on tour, overcoming obstacles and steering through the chaos to deliver memorable performances. Okay. So basically on tour, I just feel like the name roadie is really you know? It's not the same as street. Like, street is cool, but, like, I'm seeing, like, being in the country, off the highway, okay? But is there sort of a romantic element to it? Perhaps, okay? Interesting, because Chariot is an extremely powerful major arcana. It's number 7. Very spiritual number, okay? Chariot. Getting VII, vehicle, okay? RVs, okay? Talking about RVs. Doesn't that stand for recreational vehicle or something like that? I don't know. But, okay. Something about living on the road, the beauty of the natural world and natural life, okay? Nomadicism, okay? Okay. It can be very spiritual, okay? Being on the edge of survival sometimes, it's a very light feeling. And I've been on the road before. I've been homeless, and I've been, my stomach has been empty. And it's saying something about, like, not knowing where your next meal is going to come from. It's a really good thing, okay? And, basically, it's something everyone should experience, because that's when you can see, okay? Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the world stage, and I was talking about giving performances. Seven of Swords. So this is like torment, okay? It's also VII, V. We got XXI21 is the world, and we got the world stage. Two of Wands, a portal, okay, fire. Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. Okay. 9. Okay. So all these ladies have like these chains around their necks. Okay. And it's saying like wealth, like, okay. So, but it's also saying like a material attachment, because we did get Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. So something about like the Aquarian age, because we got Queen, which was marked by a Q, and I got 17 star, the Aquarian age. And the female nature being like the elevated feminine will be less materialistic, more ethereal. Okay, that's why the roadie here with her like lack of material attachment, okay, is elevated. And okay, and in order to rise to the world stage, see how she doesn't really have heavy chains on. You have to detach from the world to really appear upon the world stage, okay? So, are you ready to make your entry through the doorway, the Two of Wands. You can't come with this, with the Pentacles, no Queen of Pentacles, okay, Nine of Pentacles, okay, you have to be self-sufficient, master the material realm, which is what the Queen of Pentacles is here, okay, in order to pass through the doorway, the portal of spirituality, okay, and to appear on the world stage, okay? That's the message, okay? If you really want to be a star, which grunge, it's all about being a star, okay? Remember, we're talking about an artistic, okay? Artistic aesthetic. So, if you really want to be a rock star, master the material realm, enter the spiritual journey of life, conquer your lower nature, and you will rise. So, best of luck.